Hello everyone. Today we're learning about Mציעא Daf Hayomi. We're going to start 5 lines down. V'Rabchia bar Abba Omer Rabbi Yochanan. So to recap and understand the sugya, we're going to start from repeating what we learned yesterday from the Mishnah. So we learned in the Mishnah that someone who's transferring a barrel from place to place and he broke it, doesn't matter if it's a Shem Echinam, doesn't matter if it's a Shem Esocha, he makes a shvur. That's Shitas Rameh. That means L'chor Rameh holds that if someone trips over, he's not Pesha, because if he'd be Pesha, he'd have to pay. And we asked the Kash and the Gemara, Toner Rabbanon, that we see the Rameh holds that Nitkal, someone who trips over, is a Pesha. So how is the Shem Echinam and even more so Shem Esocha patting himself when he tripped over? He's a Pesha. And in the Gemara on Beis on base, we said, Tavra, the truth is the one who said this Rameh didn't say this Rameh. I mean, there's two shittas. What's Rameh shitta about someone who trips over? Here the Gemara is going to say a different teretz. So let's see it inside. Rabchia bar Abba Omer Rabbi Yochanan. A different teretz. Really, Rameh holds someone who trips over as a posher. So how in the Mishnah by us can he make a shvur? L'chor a posher, someone who's a Shem Echinam, even more so, Shem Esocha is chayef a pshia. Says Rabbi Yochanan, it's a special din. Shvur zu takonas chachomimi. Why? Shemiato imeken, if you won't let him make a shvur and be potter, einecha odom ama b'chovis lechaveru mimoka lemoka, you won't find someone who'll be willing to transfer a barrel from point A to point B because he'll be always scared that he'll trip over and he'll have to pay, so he won't do it. So we have a problem. So we say we make a takona, even though the nitkal posher, you can pattern yourself with a shvur. Says the Gemara, if so, Eichi Mishtaba, what shvur will he make? Normally, Yashem Echino makes a shvur that he wasn't posher, but here he was posher. So what shvur will he make? Omarova, shvur shloi b'chavona shavartia. He makes a shvur that he didn't break it purposely. He did it by mistake. But also, now the Gemara is going to continue the brayso like we said yesterday. But also, Rabbi Yehuda who argues on Rameh comes and says, Lemeima, to say, Shoy Mechinom, if it happens to him, Mishova, he can make a shvur, because Rabbi Yehuda holds that Nitkal is like Gneva Vaveda, so Shoy Mechinom is potter for Gneva Vaveda, he makes a shvur. No, he says, Socha Yishalem, because it's Chai for Gneva Vaveda, and Nitkal is like Gneva Vaveda. Ahaiki Dine, Vahaiki Dine, Shoy Mechinom like his din, and Shoy Socha like his din. But also, Rabbi Loza Lemeima, in Gemara Rameh, yes, I also heard that the halacha is like Rameh ben Shem Echinam ben Shem Esocha makes a shvur. But I have a question in Yecholim there. How could also Shem Echinam and also Shem Esocha make a shvur? Bishlei Shem Echinam mishtava sheloi posha ba. Okay, we could say that Nitkal is love posher. Elo Shem Esocha amay mishtava kilo posha nami bo yishlumi. Even if he wasn't posher, if it was gneva vaveda, has to pay, and this is the minimum, it's at least Gneva Vaveda. And it says Rabbi Eliezer even more so. V'afilu shemechinam nami, very good. We could understand Hoteinach, we could understand the B'mokoi Midron when it was a slant and he tripped. So then, he's not posher, he can make a shvur that he wasn't posher. Sheloi B'mokoi Midron, mi motzi mishtava, sheloi posha, how could he make a shvur if it was a straight path and it wasn't on a slant? It's proper pshir. And even in a slanty way, on a crooked, like on a slope, very good when there's no edim. In a place where there's edim, you have to bring edim and you can't make a shvur. The Tanya, Isi ben Yehuda, ein roye, if no one saw, then shvuas Hashem tiyeh ben shneim. Or yesh roye, if there's edim, yovi raya beipota, he has to bring edim. So how could you tell him over here, just make a shvur? Maybe there's people who saw it. That's the 3 questions that Rabbi Eliezer asks on this din. Says the Gemara story, how Gavra, this person, the Ave Komave, Chavita, the Chamra, who was transferring a barrel of wine, Beristaka. It means it's like in the town square, the mechuzah of a place called mechuzah of a tabra, and he broke it. This is the mechuzah on one of these poles that come out the wall. He came in front of Rava. Omale, ristika the mechuzah, the town square of mechuzah, shchicha ba'inchi, there's lots of people. If you want to patter yourself, these are icy raya, that what happened, be potter and you'll be potter, and otherwise you can't make a shvur and you'll be chayiv because there's edim. Omale Rav Yosef Brei, Rav Yosef, the son of Rava, told him, Keman ki isi, you passed me like isi, that if there's Eidim you can't make a shvur. Omale in, yes, ki isi. V'svirlan kavaseh, I hold like isi. Said more another story. He told his friend Zil Zovin Arba Dani Chamra, go please buy me 400 barrels of wine. Oza Zovanle, he went and bought it for him. Lasoif at the end, Osele Kamei, the messenger came in front of to the person and he told him, I bought 400 barrels of wine, but Kifu, and they all became vinegar. But Kifulo. So also this case came in front of Rava. Omale, if 400 barrels of wine, that good wine, become into vinegar, people are going to hear about it. Lemilsa, to this thing. Bring Aiden at the beginning, when you bought it, that was good wine and it's not your fault that it became vinegar. You're party yourself, otherwise you're pusher that you bought vinegar. Omale Rav Yosef Brei, Kiman, ki isi? Is this like isi? Omale in, yes, ki isi v'svirun and kavoseh, and I hold like him. And the story of the Gemara is adding that this din is only by shomrim. It's also another din by when someone sends a messenger that you can't make a shvur to pat yourself in a case where there's edim. So the Gemara, Atkin Rab Chir bar Yosef, Rab Chir, the son of Yosef, made a takona b'sikra. It's a place. Ani the Dora Ba'agra, these people who carry on this type of pole on the shoulder that has two things at the end that you carry with it. The itba, and they carried something with it and it broke. Nishal and Palga, they have to pay half the damage. My time, and what's the reason? Half, or all or nothing. Why is this half? Gray areas. So the Gemara explanation. Nofish lechad, it's heavy for one to carry. The zuta letray, for two people it's too little to carry. Therefore, it's Korav Loinus and Korav Lepshia. It's not the Pshia and it's not Oinus. It's somewhere in between, like Neva Aveda. So therefore, you pay half. Because you're not Pshia, but you're also not Oinus. But B'digla, if they were carrying with a Digla, it's a different type of pole that's much heavier to carry weights with it. So, and one person carried it, and his nominee carried himself. B'shalim Kula, because he's Pshia, that he carried it by himself, such a heavy weight, all by himself. Rabba bar Chonon tabrule anu shekuloi. These porters broke for him chavita de chamra, a barrel of wine that they were carrying for him. Shokala glimayu. He took away their cloak. Osu omur Rav. They went and told the Rav what happened. Omalei. So Rav told Rabba bar Chonon avlehu glimayu. Give them back the cloak they took away from them. Omalei. So Rabba bar Chonon asked Rav. This a din? Omalein, yes, you're Talmud Chacham, and it says in the Pasuk, Leman Telech b'derech tovim, you have to go in good ways. So therefore, you can't take away the cloak. So he listened to Rav and he gave it back. Omulei, so the porters told Rav, Aniya anon, we pour, v'tarchinan kula yoyim, and we worked all day, v'kafinan, and we're hungry, v'lesla media, and we don't have what to eat, and we're not getting paid for this job. Omalei, so Rav told Rabba bar Chanon, Zil Agrai, go pay them their wages. Omalei, Dinochi, that's the din. The guys broke me my barrel. I have to pay them the wages. Omalein, yes, you have to. Someone like you is a Talmud Chacham. It's in the Pasuk, V'orichus tzadikim tishma, go in the ways of tzadikim, and a tzadik would pay in such a case. And it's interesting that there's two people in the Torah that are called tzadikim, and it's Noach and Yosef. And the reason why Chazal say is because they both fed the whole world. Noach fed the whole world in the Teva, and Yosef fed the whole world in the famine years in Egypt. So it makes sense also here that we bring this pasuk about tzaddikim to feed the poor people. Hadron Aloch Asochos Umnim will come back to you Blineda Perek Asochom Umnim, and we'll learn you again in the future. Now we're going to start the new Perek. So Asochom Umnim means someone who rented a contractor, someone who gets paid for the job. Now we're going to start Asochos Apoelim, someone who's renting someone who gets paid by the day. So Asochos Apoelim we told them to wake up early or to finish a job later than what's normal day for a day's work. So says the Mishnah, normally people start the work at 8 and he told them to come at 6, or he told them to finish at 8 and normally people finish at 5. You can't force them, and the Gemara is going to ask Pshita, but the Mishnah says you can't force them. Said the Mishnah, if you rented workers and the minig is to feed them food, you also should give them food. If the minig is to give them some sweets, some Coca-Cola, he has to supply them. Whatever is normal in this place. Maisa, said the Mishnah, he told his son, go rent us workers, we need to work in the field. Olach, he went to Posak Mezoines and he told them, come work for us and I'm going to give you Mezoines. When he came back to his father and told him what happened, he told him, Bni, my son, even if you do to them choshev suda like Shlomo had in his days, the king Shlomo was rich, and he makes such a choshev suda, it's not enough. Why? The sons of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and they deserve even more than the suda of Shlomo. Ella, what should you do? Actually, before they started the job, say, go and tell them, on condition, that all I'm going to give you, Ella, pass the kittens, only bread and beans, only. He didn't have to say this, even though they passed in Mezoines, it's Akud Keminig Medina, and the Medina obviously don't give Poyalim a big meal like Shloima and for sure not like Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. And therefore, whatever the minig is here, that's what you needed to supply, and you didn't need to go and change the contract. Obviously, if the minig is to start job at 8 and you can't force them to come at 6, no. I need the case of the Mishnah to tell you this chiddush. The Tofalei Agrayu, normal days worker gets £100 a day, and he agreed on 110. You might have thought, the boss could tell his workers, that I gave you extra a data on condition that you'll come early or finish late. Together with me. The chiddush is, the workers could tell the boss, that he gave us extra data, that we do for you, we'll do extra, we'll work harder and do a nicer job, nicer finish, but doesn't mean we'll come extra hours. We're not coming extra hours. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol nהיה b'dvaro. Said the Gemara, Omar Rish Lakish, B'gimel Amud Beis, Poyel b'knisosoi misheloi, b'yetziosoi mishel bal habayis. So the pearl normally would work from when the sun comes out until the sun goes down. So the Rish Lakish says, a poel b'knisosoi, when he comes back to the city, he came to work in the field that's out of the city, and now he's going back to the city. So when he come back, b'knisosoi means when he's coming back to the city, misheloi, it's on his time, meaning he has to stay at the job until it gets dark, and then he could go home. That means going home is on his time in the dark. But when he leaves in the morning to go to the field from the city, Mishel Balabais, he only has to leave when the light comes up. He doesn't have to be at the field when the light starts. How do we know this? Shenemar, it's in the Pasuk, Tizrach Hashemesh Yosefun. When the sun comes out, they'll be Nesaf, they'll moinoisum ruboitzun, and they'll go back to their places, to where they live. Yotza odam lepoyaloi, and a person, when the sun comes out, goes out to work. So we could see that he only leaves to work when the sun comes out, and to his work, at the erev, until the night. That means he finishes his job only when the night comes. So we could see from there that he has to leave his house when the light comes, but he doesn't have to be at the job site when the light's out. But when he goes home, he only leaves when it gets dark. Ask the Gemara, what's the din of Rish Lakish? We said we go Keminig Medina, so why this posuk and everything? What's the minig over here? To be at the job site when it starts to light, or to leave your house when it starts to light? Said the Gemara, Be'er Chadash, a new city. So the Gemara, where did the people from the new city come? And let's be noig like in the old place. So the Gemara, Benikutoi. Nikutoi means that he came from many places, and some people have this meaning, and some people have this meaning, and therefore you go lifi the Torah. Ibo is saying another Torah, it's the Omalu, that he agreed with these workers that Grisu, I'm renting you li kipoil deraisa, like a poil from the Torah. So even if the meaning in this city is different, they have to go lifi the Torah, and lifi the Torah is like what we said before. Torah Shrub Zero. Now we're going to start some agaditis. Says the Gemara, Dorashab Zera Darshan V'Amirlo, and some people say Tony Rav Yosef. It's a brisa in the name of Rav Yosef. Mai Dichsiv, what do they mean the pasuk that we just said? Toshes Choshech V'Yilaylo. Hashem will bring darkness and it's going to be night. Tirmois Kol Chayosiyar. So we explain. Toshes Choshech V'Yilaylo Zoil Mazeh. This is this world. Shadoy B'Laylo. It's like night. You don't know what's going on. You see, we look around today and you see the world so corrupt, such lies. You see big Rishoyim very successful. It's like night, nothing's clear. All the animals from the forest are going to be in there. Why is that? That's the Rishoyim in this world, that is similar to animals in the forest. The pasuk continues and says that when the sun comes out, they'll go back. So we learn Tizrach Hashemesh when ala tzadikim. Yosefun Rishoyim leGehenna means in the next world that the Rishoyim are going to go to Gehenna. Each tzaddik has his place in Olam Haba, like he deserves. Mother is like a house. What does that mean? To get the schar. The one who finished, and until he was old, until he passed away, he was a tzaddik. Rabbi Lothar Barab Shimon, Ashkach Lau Parguna. He met this person who was in charge from the king. The Kotof is Ganve, his job was to catch the Ganovim. Omalei, so Rabbi Lothar Barab Shimon told this person, how do you manage to catch him? Are they not like animals? That means how do you manage to catch them and find the tricks? Are they not like animals to you? That they hide in the day in the hiding place. It says in the pasuk, some people say, he said a different pasuk to say that it's hard to catch his ganovim. It says, Yera b'mistar ka'aryeh b'sukkah, that the Rishoyim are going to hiding like a lion in its den, when it's hiding and it's going to catch a deer or something. So how do you catch his ganovim? Dilma, maybe, shokal tzadiki, maybe he catch a tzadikim, someone who's not really a ganev, v'shavkes Rishoyim, and he leave the ganovim who are Rishoyim. Omalei, so this person who was in charge from the king told Rabbi Lothar Barab Shimon, what should I do? Irmana de Malku, it's the job, it's mitzvah samelech, it's a job, told me to do this job. Omar, the Bach says, Omalei, let me teach you what you should do. Oil ba'arba shoy lechanusa. Go at 4 hours of the day, that's a time where people eat, to the shop where everyone go to eat, like a restaurant. When you see a person, the koshoti chamer, that's drinking beer or wine, the konokit kosa and is holding the cup in his hand, the komenamnem, and is falling asleep, sholale, ask about him. If it's a Talmud Chacham who v'naim and he's falling asleep, go up very early to learn. If he's a poel, he's a worker, he woke up early to do his job. That's why he's falling asleep. If his job is at night, maybe he was working all night to make from these like sheets of metal or silver. He made it into strings, and it was a job that you do at night. So maybe he was up all night. And if he's not one of these things, ganvu, he's a ganev, v'tafsei, and catch him. Ishtaba milsa b'malka, the king heard about this idea. Omru, and they said, Karaina the Igarta, this is like a saying, Karaina the Igarta, the one who wrote the letter, Iuli have perudinka. He should be the one who should do the job. Asyula Rabbi Loza bar Rab Shimon. So they made Rabbi Loza bar Rab Shimon to be in charge to catch a ganovim. The kotof is ganve, and he was catching the ganovim with this trick that he told the messenger, the person who was a job before. V'ozil, and he was catching ganovim v'ozil. Sholach le Rabbi Shua ben Korcha, choymetz binyayin, vinegar the son of wine, he told him. Ad Mosai, until when at the Moisa Amoy Shel Elokeinu, he's sending Jewish people lariga, because the king would kill these ganovim, and killing these Jewish people. Sholach lei, he sent to him, koitzim ani mechalem min hakeren, I'm taking out thorns from the vineyard. Sholach lei, so he sent it because these are bad people. Sholach lei, he sent them back. Yoboy bal hakeren v'chales koitzav, let God do his job. The owner of the vineyard, who are you to do it? Yom echad, one day, Poga be'au koives, he met this person who was a washer, he'd do washing, Aryeh. So he called Rabbi Loza bar Rab Shimon, choymetz binyayin, vinegar the son of wine. Omar, so Rabbi Loza bar Rab Shimon said, Midechotziv kulai, if he's such a chutzpah person to call me like that, Shma mino, it must be Rishia, he's a Rasha. Omalu, he told the people of the king, Tfusu, catch him. Tufsu, and they caught him. Lebosa de nachdate, after he calmed down, Ozal Basrei Lipruke, he went to redeem this person. He said, maybe I was just upset and he's not really a Rasha. And he couldn't redeem him. So he was very upset, and he called on himself, someone who has control and has guarded his mouth and his tongue. Shomer, he keeps himself from Toras Nafshe, from his Toras, and here I call someone to get killed, and I don't know if he's a Rasha. Zokfu, they hanged this koives. Come to Tes, Rabbi Loza bar Rab Shimon went underneath him. Come to Tes kifa, underneath this hanged person. And he was crying. Ormuleis, the people told Rabbi Loza bar Rab Shimon, Rabbi, Al Yerba Necha, don't be upset. Shehu, no, him and his son, Balu Nara Merosa b'Yom Kippurim. They did that very with a woman who's she was Merosa, she was engaged to someone on Yom Kippur. He was a big Rasha. So he put his hands on his stomach, and he said, Oma sisu meimei sisu, my stomach should be happy. If already this I was a Sophic and I wasn't sure that he's really a Rasha, and now I found out that he's really a Rasha. But when you sure about it, when you, like the other story when he said about the people who are falling asleep in the middle of the day, who's sure I know that they ganovim, alachas kama v'kama, how the more so, I'm damn clear that either guy is a ganovim, for sure I'm right, if already by a Sophic I was right. Muftochani b'chem, I'm sure about my body, shein rimo v'toiloa shaletes b'chem, that no worms have control over you. And even so, he wasn't sure, he felt a bit uncomfortable about this story. So he decided, he asked people to put him to sleep. He gave him to drink some sleeping pill or liquid. And they put him into a marble house. In those days, when they'd want to do an operation, they'd put someone in a marble house like today in the operation room. It's very clean, and there's no germs, and everyone wears masks on the face because we don't want the wound to get germs. So also over there, they'd have a marble house where no wind comes in to damage the wound, and they put him in there. The corally crazy, and they opened his stomach, and the Abu Mafkumine, and they took out from him dikule de tarva, like salim, baskets full of fat, because he was a fat person. And they put it in the sun in the hottest months of the year on Tammuz V'Av, and it didn't stink. Like he said, he saw that there's no, the Tuloim, the rooms, don't have koyach on him. Ask the Gemara, kol tarbe nami lo yisriach. All fat by itself without meat doesn't stink, so what's the chiddush? Says the Gemara, no. Kol tarbe lo yisriach. Correct, fat by itself doesn't stink. Only, but shuruki, sunki. But the edges, they're like reddish fat, and the type of a meat, they masrich, they do stink. Hocho, in this case, afal gav the ike shuruki sunki, even though that there was this shuruki sunki, loy masrich, it didn't stink. So Kori Anafshe, so Rabbi Lothar, Rabbi Shimon said on himself, sorry, even my meat, ishko lebetach, will be safe. Said the Gemara, Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Yosi, also Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Yosi, Mota Kiai Ma'aseh Liyodeh. There was a similar story that the king made him in charge to catch a ganovim. Hoga Elio met him, Omale. He told him, Ad Mosai Atamoisa Amashel Elikinu Lariga, until when are you going to send our nation to be killed? Omale, my avid, what should I do? Hermana de Malku, it's the job of the king. He told me to do it. Well, how should I get away from it? Omale, Vucha, your father, Oracle Asya, he ran away to a place called Asya. At Oracle Lutkia, you run away to a place called Lutkia and run away from this job because it's a bad job, even though they're catching the Ganovim. At the end of the day, you're giving them Jewish people to be killed, and it's not a good thing. Today is 29 days, that's 4 weeks, and 1 day to the Oima. Shkoyach, and I want to make a Shmol Tefillah, like Rab Nachman teaches us, that we should make out of a tourist tefillah, so we should be zoicha, to understand Agadata. We should be zoicha when we rent workers to treat them right, like the Torah tells us to. And we should be zoicha to Mikayim and remember the Gemara's we learn. Shkoyach.